Crop news brought to you by Heritage Tractor. Heritage Tractor is your full-line John Deere dealer. Visit us online at heritagetractor.com.
Welcome back to Ag AM in Kansas. Recently, Kansas State University hosted its annual Research and Extension Conference on the campus, where all the researchers, specialists, and agricultural agents from around the state gathered to talk shop, as it were. One of the special sessions during this year's conference was on conserving the Ogallala Aquifer, which of course is of immense importance to all of Kansas agriculture, especially in western Kansas, where that aquifer resides. We had an opportunity to visit with a longtime irrigation researcher with Kansas State, based at the university's Northwest Research and Extension Center, Freddie Lamm, and he spoke at this seminar on the Ogallala Aquifer about sprinkler irrigation management for improved water conservation. It's been a while, Freddie, so it's good to have you on the program once more. And you talked up some ideas at the conference and at this seminar about improving sprinkler irrigation management for water conservation. This has been studied and talked about a long while. What angles are you coming from there?
Well, today I'd like to talk about how we might be able to improve our management of these systems under drought conditions. And we're in kind of a historic drought in portions of the state, particularly in the southwest portion of the state. And I think there's still some opportunity to make these systems work better under these conditions.
Mechanically speaking then, making adjustments in the actual system or in irrigation scheduling, what approaches are you talking of?
The ones that I'm going to concentrate on, or the ones that I concentrate on, are the actual design and management ones. And by design, I mean where are the sprinklers placed? Are they above the canopy? Are they below the canopy? And how widely spaced are they? And do they have pressure regulators? Actual design aspects that they might be able to improve.
Several years ago, drop nozzles were introduced into pivot systems as a means of the low impact approach to applying water. Is that what you're getting at, or is it a broader application of that you're talking about?
Yes, one of those types is called low elevation spray application, or LESA. And another one is called LEPA, that'd be low energy precision application, and those are the typical ones that are used in western Kansas. However, when these systems were adopted in Kansas, sometimes there were some shortcomings in the design. In many cases, the nozzles were spaced too widely apart. And initially that was to save money, but it actually has caused it can cause considerable problems in terms of runoff. And if you try to balance the runoff against the evaporation savings that these systems were supposed to provide, the runoff can easily overwhelm the evaporation savings.
So what is done to correct that then? Narrower spacings of the sprinklers, the drop nozzles? What?
Yeah, there's a couple different things. We really think that the nozzle spacing should not be more than twice the row spacing, the crop row spacing. So if you have corn spaced at 2.5 feet, we think these sprinklers should not be spaced more than 5 foot apart. And so that will effectively even out the application amounts as they go across the canopy. And additionally, another aspect is there is different locations in terms of height that make some difference also. We found that if you compare like 2 foot, 4 foot, and 7 foot height, the 4 foot is actually the worst, because that's where the majority of the, once a crop is tasseled, that's where the majority of the leaves start, and actually the ear mass is there, and so there's a lot of distortion of the sprinkler pattern. So you either need to have it up near the top so that it will spray over it, or you need to have it down at, say, a 2 foot level so that it can penetrate through the canopy, so there's less leaves at that area.
We'll take a look at more ideas on center pivot irrigation management for water conservation reasons with Kansas State's Freddie Lamm after these moments aside. You're watching Ag AM in Kansas.